On the sesame seeds, and I'm going to complete the recipe all in one shot. Before, I've done it in 7 minutes. As fast as cookies came out, I had a new recipe ready to go. See the way I'm cutting this chocolate? And you change your angles. It's always nice actually to go at a corner if you're going to do this. Now, if you use a bread knife, you can really control your shavings really interestingly. Really good. I like, one of the things I buy still until I buy an ice cream maker. I want an old hand cranker too. You know, my chef would always buy one of the electric ones. He said, "This man, just buy this and it would burn out in about 3 months, and you buy another." He said instead of that $1,000 machine, this is back in the 90s. And I would really like to see some products come out of the American engineering that last. Stop selling us 27 pans. Sell us an ice cream maker that lasts for a couple of years. So, being that I didn't really pause the thing, I don't need to slow down. Alright. You can see, good. This is pastry flour. I want some nice lift in this. Two cups of pastry flour. I'm going to go a little short, and I'm going to go get some AP flour to finish this. I don't need it, but since I'm not using AP, it's not going to pick up all the moisture, really, the way I want it to. Most obvious thing in the world I'm missing. In every kitchen, it's called salt. Where is my salt? Hiding behind my coffee. Little grounds in your coffee will a lot of chocolate. Cool. And this is a bag. Plastic bag. I just cut the sides out. Whenever I have plastic in my house, I try to use it 2 or 3 times. I was watching this lady on this cooking show, and she goes, "When you want to marinate your chicken, just put it in a plastic Ziploc bag." I'm like, a Ziploc bag costs like 75 cents, lady. And then you're throwing that Ziploc bag right into the garbage. Mother Nature don't appreciate you in your Ziploc bag. Now, the way cookies leaven is the albumin in the egg mixes with the baking soda and causes a reaction. And the last part here is a little cold water. Why cold? Because that butter was really soft, wasn't it? Definitely not hot. But so you're at home, and I went to cabinets back and forth. If I'd been thinking a little smarter and didn't turn the camera on and off, I would have made the cookies in how fast? What are we at? 5 minutes here and 3 minutes before. See, I told you the protein. That's it right there. And I also like to add a little sugar. at this point because it kind of bakes out of the cookie. If you get it just right, it comes to the top of the cookie. Comes to the top of the cookie. Yes, it does. And still looks a little buttery. I can just look at it, America. If it's not tight enough, it'll just run all over the pan. So, baking is a formula, but it's also, once you've done this so many times, a formula like you're creating cement. It's 2 parts gravel, 3 parts sand, 1 part cement mix. 1 part water, I think. 1.5 parts water. Well, anyways, it's a recipe. Well, if you throw it together and you get it close, it's still going to be cement. It's not going to be the greatest cement in the world. In other words, you can drive a car on it, but I wouldn't build a building on it unless you got your mix 100% right. Oops. We want to eat some, right? Want to eat some cookies. I like bacon on the back of a pan. I just do. And this is also the tester. I should have tested it in a bowl because I could readjust it. But I can always take it right out of this plastic. Really easy. You're really going to like the way this plastic works. Because it makes a roll so easy. In just a second here. I'm making the cookies. Then I make the roll. Yeah, it's seeming really buttery. So I haven't made chocolate chip for a while, and I haven't used all pastry flour ever. I'm always using AP flour. So that makes a difference. And 5 cookies is where it's at. You have 5 cookies in this life. But I talked the other day, I was going off on my show about people eating the whole boxes of cookies and kids. I do the same thing, man. And guess what happens to me? I get sick. You know? And then you ain't got nothing nice the next day. And the thing is with these cookies, when you eat 5, you can go back and you can eat 4 or 5 more. But after 5, you really had what you wanted. Because they're that good and they're filling. They don't have... High fructose corn syrup makes your body high. It's just like MSG when you go to the Chinese food store and you just want more and more and more. It's like a bag of dope. And I'm talking about the dope that they sell today. I'm not talking about the good dope, propanol and all that shit. You guys are like, what the fuck is Chef talking about? While he's making cookies, you better put rated R on this, Chef. I told you all that before, man. Explained to you that they feed all the chickens and all the pigs and all the cows pseudoephedrine, and that's what you make dope out of. Methamphetamine. They feed the animals a form of base methamphetamine. Part of the main ingredient. Main ingredient is what they feed to the pigs, horses, and your chickens. That's why they get so big. That's why people in America get so big. So you're all high and you don't even know it, man. And it ain't even good shit. There used to be shit with names that the bikers brought around and crazy people brought around back in the day of like the Keezy celebrations coming up. Yeah, back in that day, man. When people used to just have a good time, man. I'm serious, man. I'm telling you the truth. You guys are like, is he talking good things about methamphetamine, dope, drugs? Look, 1960s came around. We had a whole bunch of free thinkers, and they came out and they started busting these cool stuff to everybody. And we didn't think it was, they didn't, anybody think it was cool back then. Nobody thought weed was cool. It was the killer drug. Forget the other ones. They didn't even know about that. But thing was, it all came from the same mindscape. There we are. Our cookies are done. He's like, wow, chef, what are you talking about? And chef, what are you wearing? Don't worry about what I'm wearing. Talking about the ghetto, I'm experiencing it. I'm loving it, loving it. I'm not loving it, man. I used to love it when just people would just, man, there used to be this feel in these houses here in Eugene and Springfield, and it reminded me of growing up in the 70s and the 80s back east, mostly the 70s, because that time we had everybody just coming together, man. And I swear, man, white people and black people did not hang out, nor did the Hispanic people, nor did the Indian, nobody hung out. Nobody. Then the party started. First the hippies came in and they brought all the party and the free love, and the weed was everywhere. The weed, man. The guy who had the weed was cool, you know. And now today's it's like the guy who's got the shit is cool because he's a criminal, because he can do fucked up shit and violent shit. I learned long ago in D.C. anybody can walk up to another dude and just put a gun to their head and you can just watch it. Just, dang, man. Over $20. Crackhead tried to take a dealer for $20. Some dude next to him didn't want to hear nothing. Bam! Never seen anything like that for 17 years old. And I'm standing 15 feet away from this guy. And they just let the dude fall. Shut the doors behind me. Dealt the rest of the fucking business in the house. The dude who was dealing just kept going. And then it fucking shut down. Dude came out with a couple of buckets and started pouring this shit on the floor. Fucking ammonia smell everywhere. Fucking this shit was unreal, man. And that's not cool. That's what it turned into in D.C. It was just insane, man. People shooting at each other on the highway just because they were yelling. And thugs chasing people down if you yelled back at them just because they was thug. You know, and man, Tupac didn't say that. If Tupac was here right now, he'd be rapping about, man, it's like, bring us all back together, I say. From Ferguson to the streets of L.A. You gotta bring us all back together, I say. We're looking for these better days, looking for this end of craze, looking for this wild-eyed, tear-stained. And I don't want to die today walking these streets of L.A. and Compton and New York. Out here in the Ferguson in the dark. Cops coming from every way I got to see. I'm living in hell in this century. So why don't we find these better days? Why don't we find a bag to go out and play? To have a good time and bring it all around to this town. Don't you understand? I'm wearing my crown, I'm trying to say. Bring back these better days. Bring a spleef and drive it around. Bring some nice bag and say, got candy for everyone, don't no one frown. Just throw out this thing every day. Sugar cubes on the way. We used to have these better days. So what would Tupac say? I thought I heard him rap just earlier today. Could have sworn it was his voice. Like a Jesus coming out of the sky to save. And he was rapping about the troubles of today. Peace out. Amen. Be a king.